Live again. What's the date today? 26th of October already. Can you imagine that? This will be the 26th day that I'm coming live on Pink Ribbon Pilates. Well, it's a Monday and I'm coming to you for a change on a Monday from here. And I want to bring you some interesting stretches. You know, yesterday you maybe caught me on my run if you see yesterday's video, because I got sidetracked in the rain and was too late for my full Pilates session. So I thought, well, today would be a really great time to get some stretching in to the body post run, but also a really great way to start your Monday, start your week off. So join me, all right, and let's see how we go. Let's see how we enjoy this. So to start with, I'm actually going to allow you, I'm going to ask you, invite you to come onto your hands and knees. And what I want to do here is I actually want to get some balance work and some stretching at the same time with these exercises. So just sort of gets you balanced and open for the week. And you can try some of these sort of standing up as well, but it's nice on your knees because I want you to really work into the core. So first I have my legs reaching up behind me. They are relaxed. My spine is long, my hands are reaching out of the mat. I'm going to take a big breath there. And then as I exhale, I'm going to come into my cat stretch and just feel that nice scoop into the body. Let my shoulders come away from my ears. I'm going to inhale there. Now I'm going to exhale to get my tailbone out my spine. So I'm already starting with a nice spinal articulation. Okay, I'm going to inhale there. Hope you can see me properly. I should put a little tighter shape. And then I'm going to go back into that cat stretch, really rounding the spine up, scooping the tummy in, and then lengthening out from the tailbone all the way out to the crown of the head. Notice I'm not arching out my back. I'm trying to keep tummy pulled in and it's tail to head long. Let's go one more here and then we'll add on. I want to be quite dynamic as well, and stretching. So we'll wake up a little bit into the body. And then rolling all the way out to a nice neutral. I'm going to turn my toes under. I'm going to take another breath again into my cat stretch. And then I'm going to hover off my knees. I'm off my knees, about 3 inches off my knees. And I'm looking at my thighs. I'm going to take my right thigh in. And I'm going to stretch it out and pick it up. Drag it back in. Take it out and pick it up. And drag it in. And out. And pick it up. And drag it in. And out. And pick it up. And 5, and reach, and 6, and reach, and 7, and reach, and 8, and reach. Take it all the way in, replace that foot, and come on down. And roll all the way out into your neutral. So I should be really loads into the body, into the core, and loads into the supporting thigh. Okay, so we roll again, inhale into that cat stretch. I'm going to go on to my other foot this time. And I'm going to take my other leg in and I'm going to swipe it out and pick it up, reach, and in. So I'm reaching, opening the front of my body while I'm still in a rounded spine. I'm in that rounded spine because I don't want you to go into arching back first thing and potentially hurt your back. Let's go one more here. Reach, bring it in. Put that foot down and legs down. Beautiful. Relax those toes. Roll out of your cat stretch. Inhale there. And exhale. And into cat stretch. And then back off your hands. Reaching back onto your heels. Take a breath into the back. Zipping up. And then rounding the spine up. We're going to press your toes under again and press into your downward dog. I'm going to press into my downward dog, give my calves a nice stretch. I'm going to push my body through my legs, my arms, pressing my legs out as well, really feeling that nice stretch. And I'm going to bend my right leg and I'm going to press out my left leg. I'm going to switch sides, reaching that out as well. Just feeling that stretch all the way up your back, all the way up your legs as well. Okay, and the other side. Let's do one more set, reaching and reaching. Take both legs stretched, beautiful. And let's come into a nice plank for me. Okay, so we're in a nice plank, thinking body's nice and long. So I want to stretch a little bit into the side of my legs that I was running. I'm going to take my top, my leg closest to you, put it on top and give myself a nice stretch here. So I'm stretching into my waist, stretching into my hips. I'm going to take my legs to the center. I'm going to take it to the other side. Really reaching, getting a nice twist through the body. And twisting, center, twisting, center, twisting, center, and twisting, center. I'm going to take that back to the center, toes are nicely anchored, and then I'm going to go back up into my downward dog. Might want to walk my feet in a little bit. Take the pressure into the feet, guys, and not into the hands too much. We'll feel it in the hands, but try to really get those hips over the heels, stretching into the glutes, stretching all the way through the hamstrings and the calves as well. We're going to come back into our plank again. You might need to walk and adjust your legs. This time we're going to add on to that twist a little bit. I'm going to take my hips across again. This time I will lift up this arm and I will reach open my body. Take a breath big into the side. So I feel a big stretch across my chest. Take my arm in and take that down. I center myself. I go to the other side. Top leg is on the front, making a little tripod. And then I'm going to take this arm back. What we're going to do is we're going to open through the chest, reaching open. Really feel that power through the body. You're going to take that arm back down and center yourself again. Nice and wide. Let's go again to the other side. Taking that up. We're going to add on to this time. Notice my sole of my foot is down, so I'm feeling that stretch. This time I'm going to take my arm, lift my hips and reach for my ankle, stretching into the side of my waist. I'm still trying to keep my hips pointing to you while I lift them up. I'm going to take that arm back out, lengthen all the way to the side, and then take it and turn it back down. Other side. Feel nice and long. Take myself across, opening through, zipping up. This time I'm going to take my arm through, lift my hips, reaching for my ankle and feel that stretch up the side of my body. I'm reaching out of my lats, reaching there. Then I'm going to take that across and over, pushing the sole of the foot, the top foot, the front foot into the mat, and feeling a stretch all the way down to my ankles, lifting that up and taking me back to center. Hold myself there. I'm going to bring my knees in and again off my wrist to give my wrist a little break. Reaching those arms away, reaching the tummy away from the thighs and tucking the chin in so I get a nice stretch up through the back. Beautiful. Nice stretch here. Inhale. I'm going to come into my kneeling position. Okay, so once I come into my kneeling position, I'm going to come in now to stretch my quads a little bit. So I'm going to come up into kneeling here. Should feel quite, energized. My feet are behind my knees. I want to be kneeling from my knees. I want to be moving from my knees, not my back. Okay, so I'm going to keep my back nice. I'm going to reach my arms as I lean back, stretching into the thighs, and I'm going to pull in opposition, pull myself back up. And I'm going to reach back, just feeling my thighs stretching. And I'm using lots of glutes as well to feel that. Imagine that you were in your bridge position, so you really want to use those hamstrings to help you as well, okay? Reaching, feeling that nice length, and zipping up. Feel what you're doing from side to side, that you're getting a length from both sides of the body, from back and front as well. Feel that lift as you come back up. Feel the squeeze down the back of the leg. If you want, you can also press the heels like this, so you activate a little bit deeper as you come back. You want to activate. Pressing through, and then you zipping up, ironing out that length in through front of your hip and thigh. Let's go one more time here. We'll do about 8 of these. Reaching up. They are quite strong, so don't want to overdo them. My bum is still working. So I'm going to take my arms up. This time I'm going to release my toes down, and I'm going to get a nice roll down through my spine from my kneeling position. I'm trying not to lean back too much. It is quite difficult not to lean back too much as you roll down there. Try to balance on the knees a little bit. Take a breath there. And then I'm going to uncurl all the way up. Squeezing into the tummy. Take the arms up again. Let's go one more time. Squeezing into the glutes and squeezing the tummy in and up. As I reach down, just about touch that mat. Tucking my chin in. Inhaling into the back. Scooping that tailbone. And then uncurling. Really working strong into the body. Take that up, feel the bum squeezing, big time. Okay, this time when we go down, we will stay down and change position. So this one, make it count, guys, make it count. Really squeezing into the glutes, squeezing into the hamstrings, into the thighs, inner thighs, up scooping the tummy as I reach my hands down. Really, really wanting to be leaning back like that, but you want to try as much as possible to stay up over the knees. Take a breath there. And now we're going to let go of those glutes and come down to the hands and knees and then onto the side. All right? That was a good work. Okay, so on this side, I want us to still be working some side. I'm going to work the leg and stretch that as well. So I'm going to take you elbow underneath your armpit, feeling that length, feel the toes nice and long. They should be the same height, okay? Same length. You don't want to have one leg here, you know, you want to keep that nicely anchored. I'm going to try to lift both legs, so just a little bit of a hover, and then from this one, I'm going to squeeze up, okay? Good. We're reaching it away, and I still have my hip, my knee, and my front of my leg is facing front. Trying to keep that hip long as I do that. You can also add your arm into that. Let's go 2 more for 8. And keep that lift in the waist, okay? Now reach that leg. Turn both feet out. Yeah, turn both feet out. You're going to reach up and touch that leg and reach up to the ceiling. Now reach, like you give it a little squeeze. So what we try after here is to get a little bit of inner thigh as well. Higher we can reach that leg. Now what we want to do, which I'm making a little cheat here, is I really want to keep my spine long as I come up with my leg. Okay, so it's not as easy as just flipping the leg up and down because you try to keep the spine lifted as well. Okay, so let's go 3 more for 8. Really feeling that in the waist, feeling that in the thigh, feeling that in the glutes as well. Okay, 1 more. My bottom leg is still active and lifted. I'm going to hold on to this one and try to really get a nice stretch into the inner thigh. Now I'm going to take that other foot and lift it up and lower. I am still trying to keep my body lifted by pulling in my tummy. Obviously, if this is difficult, you can go onto your side and come off your elbow. You don't have to be on your elbow. All right, I'm going to go about 3 more here for 8. Not counting that well as usual, but what the hell. So reach up that leg, reach that other one away from you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bend that leg, bend that and put it here. Bend the other one so that I can hold that stretch there, trying to put the knee up towards the ceiling. And this one is just nice and squared off there. So you're getting a nice stretch into the hip. Remember I said I was running yesterday and I want to get that nice stretch. This is also a version for me of the figure 4 stretch, which we do lying on the back, but this is slightly different because you're getting the hip joint in a slightly different angle. All right, we're going to hold that there. Hold that there. Just feel that stretch into the bum. You might feel something in the inner thigh as well, but we just stretched it out when we're holding it up, so that might be different. If your neck or anything is tight, just stay there, or you can even go down here. Just intensifies the stretch a little bit, but it's all good. Okay, or you can stay up on your elbow. But the idea is that you want to keep that knee trying to reach for the ceiling. And I'm doing this, taking this bottom leg 90-90 by my body. So keep the foot up in this position. Okay, so I don't want to release that bottom leg either. I'm zipping up. Now the reason I had you on your elbow, it's not as intense on the elbow, but also because now I'm going to come into the full figure of 4, where I'm going to sit up. I'm going to lengthen this leg in front of me and keep that one where it is. Once I'm up here, I want to lean forward with a flat back. So I want my hips squared to my front leg. I want to push this knee down and I want to come forward square while I'm pulling my tummy in and up. So that I get something in a slightly different position in the hip. Really nice little stretch into the hip. It's really delicious. After, I didn't even calculate how many kilometers I did yesterday. I'll have to calculate that one. You know, sometimes I do a long walk. Some of you may be doing long hikes on the weekend and haven't had a chance yet to stretch out a good stretch. So you can use these later on. You can do this as a short video, so you can always do the stretchy parts a couple of times a day. Now from here, guys, we're going to put that leg right in front here for me. Yeah, I'm going to turn slightly to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to hold that leg here. I'm going to really hug my knee in so I can pull that thigh towards me. I'm going to pull my body outside of that thigh, my other leg is active, and now I'm going to lift my arm, turn to face the back, and I'm going to put my palm directly behind my bum so I can lift my spine as tall as I can and stretch into that hip. Okay? At this time, I am looking behind me and I'm pulling my tummy in, getting a nice stretch there into that hip even more. Deepening that. Zipping up, zipping up. Okay, so you want to be holding that a good like 30-40 seconds at least. I would say 40 seconds. Really releasing anywhere into the lower back, into the hip joint, into this sacroiliac as well. You'll feel a nice opening there through that. Inner thigh, definitely a little bit of hamstring. Definitely in between your shoulder blades as well, as you open your chest to the front. And as you hold that up, you get a really delicious stretch there. Now to come out of that stretch, I'm going to take my arm from behind. I'm going to try to use my spine to keep me tall. I'm going to reach that arm behind and I'm really going to lengthen my arm up out of my body. So I really get from the hip all the way to the fingertips a really nice stretch. I'm going to keep my leg hugged in there, turn to face the front as I bring my arm and stretch open the shoulder blades. And I'm still getting something into my hip, my right hip there as I reach that. And I feel that stretching between the shoulder blades. And then I just give myself a little hug. And then I release. Beautiful. Let's shake that out. Let's go to the other side. Start all the way from the top again. So I'm on my elbow. My legs are long. They're slightly in front of my body. So my hips and my legs are slightly in front. I'm going to be propped up from my armpit, from my lats. I'm going to go ahead and lift both legs and lifting into the waist. And that leg is going to lift parallel. So when I say parallel, it means that my knee, my hip, and my toes are pointing towards you, towards the front. So they're still parallel there, okay? And reaching up, that's 4 more here. My bottom leg is lifted, so I'm very active into my inner thigh. Last 2. And reach. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the feet out. I'm going to reach that arm and I'm going to lengthen up and squeeze down. And lengthen up and squeeze down. Now let me try to keep my body up. What I like to do is to do one where I pull, feel where my height is, turn those feet out and then try to maintain that height with my body. Really reaching that up. And listen guys, you will always feel one side much easier than the other. Yeah? It's natural. But that's what we're trying to do with Pilates. We're trying all the time to rebalance the body. Okay, let's go 3 more here. Reaching and reaching and reaching. Let's hold that there. Let's take that top one up. Holding that leg up. Lift that bottom leg. And reach. Keep zipping up. Reach. And reach. Feel that inner thigh. Feel the stretch in the top leg as well. Reaching that. Reach. Reach. And lift. Let's go 3 more. Lift. Feel that inner thigh. 2. Keep lifting the body. And 1. Beautiful. Lengthen that away. Lengthen that top leg. And then now we're going to take that leg and place it in front. And I'm going to bend this other leg 90-90 so that I can hold this leg in place. I'm going to want to push this knee to the ceiling and hold that. Then just release into that hip, into the back. Just allow a little release to take place. I'm still sort of engaged here. If your neck is as tall as so, you're going to just put your head down like that and release any tension. Pushing my hand. Now remember we went down for a while, where we went down to lie on the mat, and what we want to do when we go down is we want to still stay that knee up. You feel obviously the stretch will get into a different area. Same sort of hip, but you will definitely feel it intensify in a different way. Just breathing into that and breathing out your tension. Just keeping that nice length through the hip joint, feeling the length there. Beautiful. Then I'm going to come back up onto my elbow to maintain that nice stretch. Again, I have my hips pointing front, my knee pointing to the ceiling. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lengthen that leg and come all the way to sit up nice and tall. active into my bottom leg, opening into the top leg, and I'm going to reach over. Flat back again. I did manage to fit in a really nice stretch session yesterday. So I am not feeling as possibly as tired as I would. You know, when you do a nice big exercise, it's always nice to do another exercise the next day. Do your stretches, and then maybe today, if you've done something big over the weekend, it would be a good time to do a little walk out with it. A shorter session, but definitely keep the body moving so that you still feel, you know, relaxed, because the 48-hour build-up is really where it gets more tight and stiff, and if you don't let that happen, then you feel much better in your body, you know. And then also, we're going to bring this leg out here. Okay, I'm just turning slightly for you to see. So my foot is right where it was before. I'm going to really hug onto this leg, and what you want to feel when you hug on is you want to feel the shoulder blade really getting a nice stretch. So I'm really opening my back so I can drag my shoulder blade across, yeah? And then I'm going to hug this knee in, so I'm getting that stretch, lifting through the body. So when I put my hand right behind my bum, I can use that arm, yeah, I can use that back arm to push myself up into that stretch. But I'm pulling my body out from behind my hip, my thigh, so that I can get a nice stretch into my back. Yeah, like I said, really, really getting that nice stretch into the back. Obviously, if you're more flexible in your shoulders, you can take that arm to the outside of your thigh the other way and hold on to the bottom leg, but I don't have that mobility in my shoulder. You know, I'm one of those people that have had some injuries in shoulders, etc. So they're not as mobile as I'd like them, but they're definitely a lot more mobile than they used to be post-injury. So that's good. Also had a magician work on my shoulder once. Her name is Jeanette Perriman. Really lots of Scottish in there. She was like magic fingers, just melting it all away. So that really helped me with my mobility in that shoulder. So if any of you in Dominica, you want to go to Aura Wellness, she does some amazing stuff. Also, if you want to contact Emma at Harmony Villa, she could also do some serious, nice yoga with you, and massage as well, and your breath work with your breath work as well. So I'm pulling that arm forward, just getting that nice stretch there. So as I'm in the UK, if you're in Dominica, you can get that. All right, so I'm going to release that stretch now. All right, and I'm just going to go and lie onto my back. I'm going to lie onto my back, and I'm going to feel my body nice and long, from my crown to my tail. Let's just do a couple side to sides with the legs. Just side to sides. Side to side. Beautiful. And then I'm going to send my legs long, and I love a roll up, so I'm going to take my arms behind me, head, neck and shoulders lift, and pull up through my body, reaching up and over, stretching into that, and back down, waking up through these abdominals as well, zipping up, inhaling into the back, exhaling down. And let's do one more. We'll do one more just to come up. We'll do half of one. That's all classical roll-ups. Really get a nice stretch through the body. Hold on to the shins, ankles, whatever you can. Flexing those feet. Take a nice stretch into the body. Breathe deep. And uncurl all the way. So guys, I'm going to say that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and for those of you who watch it after, it's a very nice stretchy session. A little bit of strength and balance, which will feel really good throughout your whole body. So yeah, looks maybe easier than it is, so give it a try, okay? And thanks for joining, and yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. It's the 26th, so we have 5 more days, yeah? 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 more days in Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So thank you for joining.